Hi YouTube and hi Wattpad. If you guys don't know who I am Sky is Limit on Wattpad, and I guess here on YouTube also. I make Wattpad based content on my channel because I love Wattpad so much. Y'all can call me Sky. Everyone else does, so I mean, just call me Sky. Anyways, I wanted this video to be dedicated to a book that I wrote and completed on Wattpad. To be 100% honest with you guys, it's my baby. And so I wanted to do a read along of each chapter in my story. And so this video is going to be a read along of chapter 1 of The Beard. If you guys are interested in that, I guess stay watching. If not, no worries, you can tap out now. I don't mind. Anyways, let's go on ahead and get into the video. Alright, so we're just gonna click into my profile here. I'm gonna scroll down to where I can find the beard, and then a little shameless self-advertisement here. Anyways, here's the story we're going to read. We're only going to do chapter 1. By the way, if you guys didn't catch it in the beginning when I said it. So here it is. Here's my cover. Here's my blurb. Alright, so here's the blurb. So a beard is a person who carries out a transaction, so like dating, marrying, etc., to conceal the other's sexual identity. Emerson Emie Badgley has always been a sweet girl. As a baby, she never cried excessively and always slept through the night. As a toddler, she ate her vegetables and was a well-behaved child who listened to her parents. In school, she never got into fights, was an excellent student with good grades, and always completed her assignments. In short, Emie was the golden child of golden children. In her teens, Emie was always home on time and was well-behaved. She even has a boyfriend, but they had never ventured beyond a few chest kisses and hand-holding. Their platonic relationship is modest and conservative in every sense of the word. So why is Emie's wish to take the relationship to the next level a problem all of a sudden? So The Beard is really like a coming of age story. It deals with sexuality and kind of not confusion basically, and later on acceptance and what you are as a person, who you are as a person, the things that you like, don't like, stuff like that. I wanted this to be a story like a hey, it doesn't matter what you are type of story. So yeah, it is an LGBTQ plus story, but the big picture in the story is that labels shouldn't matter as much as people make it matter. You shouldn't care so much what people think about what you're gonna like in life, who you're gonna like. Whoever you love, that's your choice. So if someone has a disagreement with that, then clearly they don't want, nor do they need to be in your life, if that makes sense. I really just wanted this story to be something that people could really relate to and appreciate. Chapter 1. Flowers come from the same family, yet each are different in their own special way. What they represent, most people never care to discover. I'm sure most don't even know that flowers symbolize something more than just pretty colors and a nice smell. Purity, joyfulness, beauty. Each flower represents so much despite being so simple. My eyes stay trained on the hot pink begonias in bloom outside. We're sitting close enough to the door for me to make out how beautiful they are, yet they symbolize something so negative. Begonias are a warning about future misfortunes, and the blooms a reminder to be cautious about new situations. An eyelash pokes me in the eye as I blink sporadically. Lifting a hand, I begin to rub at my eyes as I refocus on my two friends. The hustle and bustle of our cafeteria doesn't hide the conversation happening next to me. It wasn't really good, Jenny says nonchalantly. Taking a packet of French dressing, she tears the top off. Her nimble fingers squeeze the packet onto her salad before she sets it aside. Concentrating, she begins mixing the green leaves, oblivious to the bombshell she had just dropped. Well, duh. You were a virgin and it's Greg we're talking about. Micah rolls her eyes. I'm surprised he even knew where to stick it in. Ginny gives Micah a blank look. Plastic. Fork clenched tightly in her right hand. I know she hates it when people assume Greg is dim. He's a sweetheart, really. Just not as smart as others. Not to mention, Ginny has been head over heels for Greg since the last day of 6th grade when he had wished her a happy summer and kissed her cheek. I had been standing right next to them and had witnessed both their cheeks turn red. It was puppy love at first sight. Shut up, Micah. You know that Greg was also a virgin, and not everyone is as experienced as you. Ginny snaps back, stabbing the lettuce before shoving the pieces into her mouth. Ginny and Micah are what I call frenemies. They're nice to each other when they want to be, but mostly end up fighting. They call their odd relationship friendship with constructive criticism. I have known Ginny Braxton since we were kids. We had been in the same kindergarten class and were classmates almost every year after that. That's usually what happens in small towns. It was only normal that we ended up becoming the best of friends halfway through elementary school. I can still remember what we were wearing when Ginny came up to me during lunch in 2nd grade. She had worn a unicorn shirt that I had been so jealous of, a pair of white shorts, and some black Toms. Her black hair was intricately braided into individual ponytails with colorful barrettes clipped on them. On the other hand, I was wearing a white floral dress and some white sandals. My own hair, blonde at the time, was left down. I'll never forget those outfits because they had marked our friendship as soon as Ginny said, "I like your dress. Want to be friends?" What's that supposed to mean? Micah's loud question pulls me back to the present. I look over at the black-haired vixen. Micah joined our schools later in the 8th grade, halfway through the school year, which everyone thought was weird. Her dad received some kind of promotion which forced them to move to our small and conservative but prosperous town. Everyone thought that was also strange because our town is small. No one moved from the city to here unless they were elderly. Nothing. Ginny shrugs as she gnaws on her salad. It's just we all know that you know what you've been doing. Jesus. Just call me a slut, why don't you? Micah grumbles. Your words, not mine. Micah thundered into our lives like an enraged bull looking for a fight. At that time, she was the emo girl. Her wardrobe mostly consisted of black with dashes of dark purple, indigo, or cobalt blue. She was mean and scary, yet for some reason, we clicked. This dark, mysterious girl and me, a colorful little thing. Despite my best efforts, Micah and Ginny never vibed as much as I did with them individually. A pity, really, because it still makes sleepovers awkward. Emie, Micah snapped, shoving her fingers in my face. My head just juts back before she can mark my cheeks with her black acrylics. I'm sorry, guys. I give them both a small smile, my shoulders shrugging sheepishly. I zoned out on you. Don't let it happen again. You need to be on my side when this hooligan tries to attack again, Micah says, and I suddenly notice a piece of lettuce hanging off her face. It's covered in the salad dressing Ginny uses. I've done nothing wrong. This crazy girl just decided to attack me. As if. Emie knows I never do such a thing. Ginny scoffs as she takes an unapologetic bite of her food. You came at me with those claws of yours. I giggle lightly as Micah grabs a napkin off my tray. She wipes at her cheek as her lips pull back in disgust before she discards the napkin on my tray. Micah glances over at me, shooting me a withering look as if daring me to believe her enemy's accusation. Just as I open my mouth to speak, the bell rings, signaling the end of lunch and the beginning of 6th period. Just one more class to go and I get to see Sebastian. Anyways, Ginny stands to her feet, loading her trash onto the tray. Emie was my best friend first. She then scurries off, backpack in hand, before Micah can reach over the table and grab her. Your bestie is such a bitch, Micah snarls as she looks after Ginny, watching her weave through students. Sighing, I gather both mine and Ginny's trash before we leave the canteen. You're my bestie too, Micah. I tell her softly as I dump the trays into the trash can sitting a couple of feet away. When I get no reply, I look over to see her brooding silently. I sigh again as I reach for my book bag and Micah's. Hoisting both on my shoulders, I can't help but think of how different each of us are as I glance at either side of me to look at our book bags. Micah's is all black, representing her personality. Simple, dark, mysterious. Mine is a light gray with pink and white flowers all over it to represent me. Light and frilly. Jenny has a purple book bag. I read somewhere that purple can represent royalty and power. Jenny is bold, therefore Jenny is purple. Our different personalities are constantly pushing each other out of our comfort zones. Come on, I loop my arm with Micah's. I'll walk you to class. Micah, being 4 inches taller, looks down at me and offers me a small smile. Instead of completing the arm loop, she wraps her arm over my shoulder and pulls me by her side. "Aw, thanks, Em," she squeals, which is an out-of-character reaction. Sebastian better take all the love he can get from me before I steal you away from him. Yeah. My eyes focus on the tree outside my English class. The leaves are a vibrant green. As it's September, I know soon they'll start turning brown, orange, red, then start falling. The massive oak is one of the oldest trees in Elderwood. Legend has it that it's been here since the town was built and maybe even before that. I have no idea if it's true, but I will say that the tree is still going strong. Alright guys, that's all. You're starting the weekend with no homework, luckily for you. Our teacher, Mr. Brown, says as he takes a seat behind his desk. Take the rest of this time and talk or do whatever teenagers do. Within reason, of course. There's not much time for anything because the bell rings. I furrow my eyebrows in confusion. I spent the whole class staring out at that tree and daydreaming. I've never been so careless before. Even so, walking out of class, my mind couldn't help but trail to the conversation between Jenny and Micah. I haven't ever really thought about having sex before. It wasn't something that I needed nor craved, so why the heck was I wasting a whole period thinking of it? Sebastian and I never even entertained the idea. But maybe we're ready to? "Babe," I hear someone familiar shout distantly. Turning excitedly, I see my boyfriend of 5 years heading my way. His mouth is pulled back into a grin, revealing his straight teeth. Not perfect, tinted slightly yellow from having braces, but I love his imperfections. Sebastian Caldwell can only be described as the dream guy, in my honest opinion. His hair is shaved down in the back, but the longer strands in the front are hanging over his slim face. The golden locks are beautiful, always soft and never tangled. His blue eyes shine as bright as mine. Like me, he is an optimist. He is part of the football team, but unlike the cliche, he is actually an amazing guy. I've never seen him bully anyone, but I have seen him save people from bullies. Sebastian's arms engulf my waist and he lifts me, spinning us both, which made me squeal. He laughs as he slowly stops spinning to set me on my feet. There's a moment where we forget the rest of the world exists as we look at each other before he breaks the stare. "How's your day?" He leans down and plants a small kiss on my lips. I shrug as he pulls my bag from my shoulder. I think Mike and Ginny will kill each other. One of these days I won't be there to stop them, and they'll just go for it. Sebastian throws his head back as he laughs, a sound as smooth and rich as melted chocolate. Tell me something I don't know. He is still chuckling as we make our way out of the school. The warmth of the sun hits us as we take our first steps out. I welcome the natural light and cool breeze on my skin. My nostrils flare as I breathe in the fresh air. Closing my eyes, I take in the free vitamin D. I've always loved the warm spring and summer more than the winter. I'd rather feel the rays of the sun than the snowflakes of a gloomy season. The cold is one of the reasons I'm dreading the end of September and the start of October, where the temperature will drop and I'll have to dig out all my sweaters. After a few moments, I open my eyes and look over at Sebastian. He's already looking at me in amusement if the goofy half smile is anything to go by. I shake my head and begin walking again. It's normal for Sebastian to drop me off home. I do have my license, but my parents can't afford to buy me a car. Besides, I love taking long car rides with my boyfriend. Hey, Tin, I call as we reach his car. It's an old beat-up pickup. The paint is wearing off and it's pretty rusty, but she purrs like a baby, as Sebastian normally says. What's up, Emie Bear? He asks as he opens the door for me. Sebastian and I have known each other since we were 10 years old, having been in the same 4th grade class. Now, when you really think about it, we've known each other for years before that, but we only exchanged friendly glances. Not to mention, our friend groups would occasionally play together at recess. But it was in the 4th grade that we really clicked. Tin was the nickname that came from that, and it's the end of his name. Seb and Bass were just too common for me. Everyone calls him that while I call him Tin. You're still coming over for dinner tonight? Mom says she misses you. Sebastian comes around and gets in before answering. Of course. I wouldn't miss it for the world. Not to mention, Mom's cooking is the best. Who would skip out on that? Good. Dinner at 6. Don't miss it, okay? I warn him, though it isn't much because I have trouble intimidating a kitten. She's not the only one who misses you. Sebastian starts the car and lets it sit to idle down. He clips his seatbelt, reminding me to do the same before he looks at me. His expression is weird with his narrow eyes and pursed lips. He tilts his head to the side as he reaches over to cut my face. I know my cheeks are red. I felt them heat up when he looked at me. Somehow, even after all these years, looking at Sebastian still makes my heart race. He is my first crush ever, and somehow we ended up together. Tim leans over and presses his lips to mine. Like always, it's a sweet, chaste kiss. We never indulge in more than a mild makeout session. Sebastian has never once brought up sex. I mean, neither have I, but weren't teenage boys supposed to want it all the time? Or am I stereotyping? Listening to Micah and Ginny has muddled me. Sebastian pulls away, much to my disappointment. Is this what it feels like to be horny? Micah's constantly talking about it. Ginny, not so much. But talking about sex is where they both can relate the most. Now that Ginny and Greg have consummated their relationship, they'll always be talking about it. I'll be the only inexperienced one. Why am I even thinking about this? We're still young and it'll eventually happen. Sebastian and I love each other. Maybe we don't need to be intimate to prove our love. Right? Alright guys, and that was chapter 1 of The Beard. Let me know in the comments. I mean, I know at this very second, I probably have no one watching, but just in case this ever, I don't know, somehow blows up, let me know in the comments below any predictions you may have, any guesses, unless you've already read the story. No spoilers, please, and thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed this ring along. I'm sorry for a lot of the stumbling that I did over words and stuff. Hopefully that just made it more authentic. Anyways, as I was saying, I hope you enjoyed this read along, and I hope you continue to enjoy the read alongs. And my profile, The Beard, and chapter 1 is going to be linked below. So if you guys want to read it on Wattpad, feel free. I don't mind. It'll make me actually very happy. But yeah, don't forget to check out some of my past videos. For starters, I have a what's in my library and the first stories that I read on Wattpad. So if that interests you guys, don't forget to check it out. Please like and subscribe, and I guess have a great day. Thanks for watching and reading. Bye.